So the draft is officially 2 days away. 2 days. And I'm a big NFL football fan. So if you're looking for a mock draft, I got one for you. I'm only doing 2 rounds because this is a very deep draft and it's one of the most difficult drafts I've ever possibly done in my life. The reason being, I believe, is because of the COVID situation that happened with college football. So a lot of players that were going to go into the draft dropped out of the draft, and now they're going into this draft. So this draft class is very, very, very deep. However, it's not like the highest skill talent in there, I would say. Like, there's some standouts, don't get me wrong, but it's not like what we've seen in the past, but there is so much depth. Absolutely, an immense amount of depth. It's crazy. So anyways, welcome to my channel. My name is BraveN, and obviously I'm a Ravens fan, as you can see, but I'm giving you guys my mock draft literally just 2 days away from now. So hope you guys do enjoy. If you guys are big football fans like me, please come to my Discord channel, have some conversations with me, or if you ever catch me live on twitch.tv/x_BraveN, that'd be awesome to come stop by and check that out too. Also, in the comment section below, just have a conversation with me. Tell me if you like the pick I made for your team. Other than that, yeah, let's just get into this right away, so that way we could get it over with real quick. I know a lot of people don't want to watch these draft videos and have a long video to watch, just kind of see what other people's opinions are. So I'm gonna run through my opinions on every single pick. I did do a lot of trades, so keep an eye out for that. You're gonna see some trades for some teams. I try to put a lot of thought into this because, as wild as I think this draft's gonna be, I truly think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on out there in terms of who's going where and what's going why. It just seems a little too weird for me for all these stories to come out so wildly out into the open. So, like I said, though, please, all the support's truly appreciated. And yeah, let's get into this and enjoy it. Sorry. Wrong key. Anyways, awkward start. Not too bad, though. It's already here. It's done. I wanted to do a live video of this, or not live video, but like a pick by pick, so I could explain what my thought process is behind them. But instead, I felt like it was going to take way too long to get it done. And I went through probably about, I don't know, maybe 10 of these just to get this one to be the closest to where I think might actually happen, but also where I see fits of every player on the team. So I'm trying to go with based off that and see how it goes. So we're going to start with number 1. I think it's all smoke and mirrors about the Trayvon Walker going number 1 overall. Aiden Hutchinson. The rumor is right there, just so you guys get an idea of why I chose Aiden Hutchinson. Obviously, he's the best overall player in the draft, bar none. You're pretty much getting a guaranteed good player, but it's what's going on between the GM, the owner, and the coach. The coach wants an offensive tackle, Ike Mekawanu, and then the owner wants Aiden Hutchinson. And the GM, obviously, we all know about the Trent Balk, all those stories. He wants Trayvon Walker. So I think that all that is, smoke and mirrors and what's really going on. And I truly think they're just going to go straight for the best available player because they want to make that pass rush dominant as dominant can be. I don't think they want to take a risk on a talent that may or may not be becoming as good as what Trayvon Walker's ceiling could be, but obviously the low could be pretty bad. So I think they're, instead of risking it, I think they're going to go with Aiden Hutchinson and just have that secure fit pass rusher. So pick number 2, I think the Lions are kind of banking on if the Trayvon Walker talks is real, but I don't think, if they aren't real, I don't think they're biting on it either about Trayvon Walker. So I think they want somebody with a little bit more potential and a higher ceiling of already showing much more promise than Trayvon Walker has shown. So I think they'll go with Kayvon Thibodeaux. I know Thibodeaux has been dropping down the boards, but I truly think that they're not going to let somebody like Kayvon Thibodeaux drop at all. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Lions don't get Aiden Hutchinson, they're going to go with Kayvon Thibodeaux. I think all the rumors of, Trayvon Walker being a bigger choice than them, I just think it's all smoke and mirrors. I think that the athleticism is there and stuff, but I feel like he's not going to be as highly touted as what everyone's looking at him like. I'm pretty sure a team's going to see him and like him, though. Pick number 3, I think the Texans just want a dominant cornerback. I mean, I think they have many needs everywhere. They could easily go tackle here too, but I think Sauce Gardner on the board and the hype behind him is really big right now. So I think they do just go based off the hype and they just get their guy. And plus, I think that's like one of the best fits possible for that team, for Ahmad Gardner to go to the Texans. I think it's a really, really good fit there. Jets, I think they're kind of banking on Zach Wilson being their guy. He has a lot of promise. He's shown promise, and then he's shown a lot of bad stuff too. But I think to build around it to make sure that he's actually legit, or for the next future quarterback, if he's not a legit, they're gonna get a tackle to have some years behind him. So Evan Neal's probably the safest pick of all the tackles out in the draft, I believe. Again, it's like another Aiden Hutchinson on the offensive side, though. He's just safe offensive tackle. He's gonna be good. Okay, so here's the big first trade. This is the one I was talking about. It's gonna be a lot of big trades, but I have a feeling. Now, let me explain why. I have a feeling that the New York Giants, since they have multiple picks, I think they shop this pick out pretty deep. And the reason why is because their pick is not too far behind after that. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers offer the farm, and they go and get Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pittsburgh. And the reason why is because I think they're feeling that little bit of edge and a little bit of nervousness of the Carolina Panthers wanting Kenny Pickett. Now, again, Pittsburgh, I feel like it makes sense. He's broken a bunch of Dan Marino's records in college. This is the type of quarterback where, you know, they say about the small hands and stuff. That's like the one thing that's like throwing people off. But I truly think that they're seeing a lot more potential out of him, especially if you do the research on the guy. I think they really see that potential out of him, and they really will go after him. I think that's why Carolina is looking at him too. However, Carolina gets number 6. I feel like Carolina's really trying to shop this pick, but instead of getting a good deal, I feel like they just go and get off their quarterback that they're thinking that they might be able to develop and become a potential huge star too. I think they just take the risk on that, and they get Malik Willis. I think they'll give Sam Darnold a chance. Just let Sam Darnold play for a bit, let Malik Willis learn behind, and then obviously when a good trade value comes around, boom, there you go, start up Malik Willis after he's, you know, got some comfortability into the league. Pick number 7, New York Giants just had to play out the way they wanted it to. They got trade value, they got more picks, and on top of that, they still get their tackle, Ika Mekwonu. I know a lot of people saying Charles Cross is an option here. I know Charles Cross is one that they've been looking at quite a bit. They really do like Charles Cross, but again, I think it's the smoke and mirrors. I think they're just saying that just so they get, you know, the more options of, hey, you know, like let's play it out a little bit. Let's make people think that we're going one way, but we're gonna go another. They get Ika Mekwonu. Again, this is guys supposed to be a highly rated tackle. They're saying, some people are saying he's even better than Evan Neal. We'll find out. I think it's a good pick, regardless if they go Charles Cross or Ika Mekwonu. But I think at this value pick, I think you should just go with Ika Mekwonu. I think it's just a better option at pick number 7. Pick number 8, another trade. Yes, I know. I'm telling you, I feel like this draft is so crazy that there's going to be quite a lot of trades happening. I have the New Orleans Saints moving up. And the reason why I have this New Orleans Saints moving up is because I have a feeling that they're fearing that the wide receivers can be picked off the board. Atlanta's willing to shop it to get some more value, obviously. And there's a reason why. You'll see in a bit. I mean, obviously, you can probably see it there already. But if you can't, you'll see in a bit. So Atlanta Falcons trade the pick to get Garrett Wilson. So Saints get the Garrett Wilson. Again, Michael Thomas is coming back. I think Thomas and Wilson combined, you know, together would make a very good wide receiving core for Jameis Winston. So Jameis Winston can try to thrive in that offense. Who knows where else they go with that, but you know, there's plenty of options, and there's another reason why I don't really feel like they're too set and comfortable with Jameis Winston, but they're gonna ride him out for a little bit, especially because he has shown potential. So they're just gonna build around that, and then obviously I'll explain probably at the end of this if I can remember. Okay, I'll just say it now. Fuck it, who cares? So I just think that somewhere down the line, down later on in the draft, either pick 2, pick 3, or round 2, round 3, sorry, should I say, they somehow trade for Baker Mayfield with the Browns. I have a feeling, I don't know. I could see I've been seeing Mayfield with the Saints for a while now. And there you go. You have Baker Mayfield or Jameis Winston, whoever works out, you know. And again, they're both kind of potential, like they've shown promise for each one. And, you know, being Baker Mayfield's a smaller guy, could kind of relate to a Drew Brees style offense. There you go. You know, you got Garrett Wilson and you got literally Michael Thomas. I mean, you got a really good receiving core. And then you got your running back in the back there, Alvin Kamara. Boom, there you go. And even one of my favorite running backs is when I think just went back there. I don't know if he's retired now for 1 year, but I can't believe I'm forgetting his name right now. But he was on the Ravens. You know who I'm talking about. Anyways, Derek Stingley Jr., Vikings. They trade, or is it the trade with Seattle? Yes, I believe this was the Seattle trade, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. The Vikings traded up. It says Denver's pick, but obviously, because I'm just forgetting for a second, but it was Seattle traded with Denver, and then now Vikings traded with Seattle. They'd move up, so that way they could get Derek Stingley. I think they have a fear of Derek Stingley going from the Jets, so that's why they move up to get Derek Stingley at pick number 9. And then you got the pick 10, the New York Jets. Jets kind of play it out and let it come to their hands, you know, and they get Jamison Williams, wide receiver out of Alabama. Makes sense, you know, because in the end, I feel like they want to develop a wide receiver and get another weapon besides Corey Davis on the other side. So Jamison Williams, again, maybe he's healthy somewhat into the season, if not right in the beginning of the season, if lucky. He could be the best wide receiver in this draft, bar none. I just feel like Saints see Garrett Wilson and see more flexibility, so that's why they go with them. I know that a lot of people are saying Jamison Williams will be the first wide receiver off the board. I just feel like maybe that injury kind of bites him back a little bit on pick, like a spot for the picks. And now he hits with number 10. So Jets just pick him up just in case. You never know, you know. And again, it gives Zach Wilson another weapon that could potentially be the number 1 receiver in this draft. Who knows? Pick number 11, I had so many options here to choose, but I truly think that Kyle Hamilton just really is like the safe pick for them. And I mean, if he blows up, he blows up. That's a strong safety back there, or well, not like actual strong safety, but like a top tier safety in the backfield. And again, I also had Drake London go in here just to give like a McLaurin London combination for Carson Wentz to play. But Kyle Hamilton's just more of a safer pick, and obviously there's value later on in the draft. So I feel like this is just the more conscious option from them. Who knows? We'll see. Pick number 12, Seattle Seahawks. They traded down and they just gamble on it. They get Trayvon Walker. The reason why I kind of did this though is because Trayvon Walker's dropping. I didn't want Trayvon Walker to drop too much, and again, Seattle is known to pick up players like that too who could become dominant, especially because if they work on that defense, they're going to really try to bring that thing back up. They already got their safety in Jamal Adams. They have pieces there where they could build that defense up, but again, somebody like Trayvon Walker, I think you kind of like risk reward type deal with that at pick 12, especially because if he drops any more, he's going to get picked up. So I think they just kind of see that and they go with it and they get Trayvon Walker. Pick number 13, the Texans are on the board. They get Charles Cross. I truly feel like they're banking on Davis Mills. I don't know why. I mean, he looks good, but I feel like, you know, long-term solution, maybe if he gets some time in, some reps in, he might become something special. He might become a good quality starter. I just don't think he's going to take them to the next level. So I feel like Charles Cross at least buys them time, gets that offense built, lets them see what he can do. And then if not, when they shop a quarterback the next couple years, boom, you got yourself an offensive tackle to help you out with Laramie Tunsil. Really good combination. Now, for my Baltimore Ravens, yes. If I know my Ravens more than anything, I know damn well they like defense. I know they built this offense. They started building it up. And again, the only reason that we had bad offense last year was literally injuries. A shit ton of injuries, even on defense. However, if I know the Baltimore Ravens, they want to get, you know, the trenches built in so they could pass rush and run block very, very well. And there's a lot of rumors going around you know, Trent McDuffie, or if a cornerback fell to him like Derek Stingley, that would be the pick. I just don't see Derek Stingley, Ahmad Garner, you know, all these players. I just don't see him dropping. And I do see so many reports and rumors that Jordan Davis is a big talk. And now when I hear about Ravens big talk in news, I always go to the sources that primarily look at the Ravens and kind of have a history with the draft picking of the Ravens. And normally I haven't done that in the past, because normally I just try to go best off of what I think is the best for the team. But I mean, Jordan Davis, freak athlete. It's another one of those like Trayvon Walker, you know, prospects where it's like, yeah, he shows a lot of potential in his athleticism, but is he going to be something? I think the Ravens really like that idea, especially because, you know, at pick 14, you could go many ways, but you know, when you have some people saying, you know, the Ravens like this type of player, you know, it's kind of unexpected, but they could kind of use him, I think they go that route too. The only thing that might throw me off is because if they really are banking on Calais Campbell and Justin Matabuke, I don't know if they're, I don't even know if I said that right, by the way. It sounds funny. Matabuke. I think it's Matabuke, but Matabuke, whatever. If they're banking on those defensive linemen, you need someone in the interior, and Michael Pierce and Jordan Davis combo would be insane. And I feel like that's the main reason right there, is Michael Pierce and Jordan Davis kind of in the middle, in the trenches, just ready to bury him deep so that the pass rushers could get through. That's the reason why I feel like it's the most confident choice for me. But I feel like they could go many ways with this as well. But I'm almost guaranteeing it's going to be Jordan Davis. If I predict this right on draft day, I don't know. I deserve something. Anyways, pick number 15, Drake London, wide receiver out of USC. I know some Eagles fans out there that I know that will like that pick. Drake London, good wide receiver. I feel like the combination of him and Devontae Smith would be really, really nice. And then you could throw Jalen Reagor in the slot. Again, you know, I truly think that's a good combination there. A safe throwing target, taller, you know, target for Jalen Hurts to get to. It'll really prove if he's there or not, you know, what type of quarterback he is. I know he could be mobile, but if he could throw the ball, you don't really have an excuse at that point, because Drake London's gonna be a very good hands-on guy. So make sure if you get that pick, make sure that that's what it shows, because that's the reason why you would do that. Anyways, Falcons, they traded down like we talked about earlier, and I know this is one of the biggest surprises, because I truly just see it's hard for me to not picture this fit, and I'll explain why in a second. Desmond Ridder, I know, quarterback out of Cincinnati. A lot of people are saying, oh, Desmond Ridder's going to drop down in the second, drop down to the third even, and I'm just saying, man, he's like the most winningest college quarterback out of this group. And the only reason I'm almost guaranteeing that he would go to a system like the Falcons is because they brought in Marcus Mariota, and I feel like there's a reason why they brought Marcus Mariota. You can't just, like, I get it, like, you know, he's still a pretty good quarterback. Like, he's proven that he could do stuff, you know, especially with the Titans. He was doing good in that system. It's a very similar offensive system now that they're trying to build. If you put in Marcus Mariota and you think that he's going to carry you into divisional wins against that division, it's no. I'm gonna tell you right now, no. You either are rebuilding or I have no idea. Something's weird. So I just feel like it's too coincidental that you bring someone very similar to a Marcus Mariota. I mean, or bring someone into your system that plays like Marcus Mariota, where you're gonna try to use their abilities and not try to get a quarterback that could be even better than Marcus Mariota, which would be Desmond Ridder. I just think it's too coincidental. It was one of my actually favorite picks in this draft, because it's just so cool to see that if that's what happens, it could possibly be like, you know, just the franchise starter for the Falcons, and that'd be pretty crazy to see how they play it out, and especially to have somebody with experience like Marcus Mariota kind of teaching them in the way, you know, and kind of letting them learn the NFL pro level aspect of things. Whatever. Chargers, I know some Chargers fans out there too. This one, it's very two ways. This is literally one way or the other. I can't figure out which one. It just seems too like much of a Chargers idea to me. Trevor Penning, I mean, again, you got to protect Justin Herbert, but I could also see Bernard Raymond. I mean, there's literally like only two tackles. I can only see those two tackles in those positions. I don't see any other tackle above them dropping. Otherwise, I would probably choose that tackle instead. But Bernard Raymond and Trevor Penning is just a literally 50-50 coin toss. I think Trevor Penning's the one that gets it. Just feels more like a Charger pick to me. I can't really have much more than that. Protect Joe Burrow. Protect Justin Herbert. There you go. Pick number 18, we got the Eagles. Eagles still have not traded out of this. I've been kind of contemplating if they were going to trade out of pick 15 and pick 18, but I think it kind of plays in their lap really well, and they get two top-tier players. They get Devin Lloyd, linebacker to Utah. Not much more to say. They need to shore up that defense, and Devin Lloyd's a very safe linebacker pick. And honestly, I think the Eagles draft pretty well if this is how it goes. Really, really well. Pick number 19, New Orleans Saints. Once again, Bernard Raymond. A lot of people have Bernard Raymond going to the Saints as well. Like I said, I can't see, you know, Bernard Raymond over Trevor Penning for the Chargers. I could see, you know, I guess I could see Penning on the Saints too, but Bernard Raymond just, again, falls into their lap. I think they kind of play it out the way where it's either one or the other's there. They'll take him. New York Giants, they've traded out with Pittsburgh. They got to pick 20, so they still get a defensive end. The defensive end, draft class is pretty fucking deep. So I see them getting George Karlaftis. I think they just kind of, it feels like a Giants pick. I mean, it feels like a Patriots and Giants pick, but I feel like since the Giants pick up George Karlaftis, Patriots come in and they get Devontae Wyatt. I think Devontae Wyatt kind of just shores up that defense inside a little more. Again, a championship winning defensive lineman. Patriots kind of feels like something they would do, you know, kind of get some winning vibe in there. Bill Belichick will train him well. So pick 22, I have pick 22. I forgot who traded with this because it says Las Vegas Raiders, but it wasn't Las Vegas Raiders. But the Packers traded up. I believe the Packers traded up from pick. I could probably see it right here if I recall. It was probably, actually, I think it was the Falcons pick right here. So I had Falcons pick, traded up. Sorry, that's wrong. I forgot who was picking at pick 22, but they traded out. and that was supposed to be whoever it was. Forgot. Just work with me. By the way, I'm tired as hell. I just got off work a couple hours ago, and I've been making this not this video, but this draft thing for I don't know how long. But anyways, so Packers move up. It just makes sense. I feel like this is the final year. I know they don't ever draft wide receivers in the first round, but again, Chris Olave is there. I could just see Olave being a Packer. I don't know why. It's easy, and I see him on the Saints too, which is funny because I'm seeing a lot of like similarities for a Saints player and a Packers player. It's kind of funny. But Chris Olave, Green Bay Packers. They move up, they get a wide receiver, they want to get one to help out Aaron Rodgers, obviously makes sense. And again, he's one shifty guy too, so I kind of feel like maybe that helps with the playmaking ability for Aaron Rodgers to get touchdowns and everything. But we're not done there yet. I think I got more in the second round. So pick number 23, Arizona Cardinals. I had this going many ways. I really feel strongly about Tyler Linderbaum. I've been saying that like the shorter center with the shorter quarterback would just help him see better. I don't know, something just it intrigues me about that pick. However, I actually go with Trent McDuffie dropping this far. I feel like they want a good corner, especially in the slot. I think they're going to take him, bar none. I think Trent McDuffie they would just rate higher than Tyler Linderbaum because they always go center in the second and third round, whatever. Cowboys, Zion Johnson. So I think the Cowboys missed out on Devontae Wyatt. I think they're kind of eyeing Devontae Wyatt. And they just make the safe bet and get the best guard just to have depth and even potentially be a starter. Can't go wrong with that, especially because you're trying to build behind that offense that you're trying to make a powerhouse. So pick number 25, Buffalo Bills. Now I see a lot of people doing Breece Hall, and there's a reason why I didn't do Breece Hall. Just you'll see. But pick 25, I have Jahan Dotson, wide receiver. And the reason why I have Jahan Dotson is because it's another shifty player, another shifty wide receiver. And I think that he could kind of replace the role of Cole Beasley. And again, you want somebody like that for Josh Allen to get around and get some yards in, kind of help the man out. Titans. Jermaine Johnson dropped pretty far. I honestly feel like his value is even lower than this, but not by much, But Jermaine Johnson, I know a lot of people like Jermaine Johnson. I just feel like he's just like a one-trick pony in a sense, but he does it really good. And I could just see him being a Titan. I feel like it fits really well. So Jermaine Johnson to the Titans, I feel like they'll just grab him. People are saying that Titans go quarterback here, maybe because of what's his name on his last couple years, Ryan Tannehill. But I just think that, I think they might bank on him one more year and then they draft somebody next year and then the next draft. So, and trust me, if the Titans fall through pretty bad, I could actually see them going for after like a, what's his name? Spencer Rattler or something. I feel like he's a good fit for them too. So we'll see. Buccaneers, Kenyon Green, guard. Again, they miss out on Zion Johnson. But again, I guess they're kind of banking on both. I think Zion Johnson, protect Tom Brady. It's kind of where you're at right now. Is what it is. So the Falcons, we're back to the Falcons. They trade up, and the reason why they trade up is because the wide receivers are going like hotcakes. They want to make sure to get in there. Not another team's really wanting to trade, except for maybe the Bengals. But I feel like if they let the Packers stay in, if Packers wanted to stay in, they'd probably go with another wide receiver, a taller target for Aaron Rodgers. But that's a big stretch. I'm sure you'll never see really two wide receivers drafted in the first round. So I feel like that's why they shop the pick, just to get more, picks for the later rounds. And they get in Treylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas. So they get a flexible wide receiver, and then Calvin Ridley comes back. You got Kyle Pitts. It's going to be just like a good offensive wide receiver core to start with for the future. However you may go with that offense. It'd be very interesting to see how Falcons play it out in the next few years or next year or two. And again, Treylon Burks would be a great fit, especially to build that up. You got Cordero Patterson too. I mean, you're literally going to have just weapons everywhere. I feel like that would be one dynamic offense, and that's kind of what I was envisioning for the Falcons. I'm not even a Falcons fan, and I was getting actually pumped for their offense just by thinking about if these picks went through like that and they succeeded. That'd be awesome. Chiefs got Andrew Booth Jr., quarterback out of Clemson. They obviously need corner, and wide receivers are coming off the board. I feel like, but in my draft, I feel like they find depth later on. And then obviously they shop the 30th pick. So they had the 29th and the 30th pick, and they shop it. Guess what they did? That's right. Deebo Samuel trade. That's what I'm trying to predict, and this is why it took so long to make a draft. Deebo Samuel trade in my mock draft, so they get pick number 30, and then the Niners get Tyler Linderbaum, center out of Iowa. They don't let him fall anymore, and on top of that is to protect Trey Lance. Trey Lance can definitely use a smaller center to be seen over him and everything. So, I mean, what more do you want? I mean, it's kind of like a match made in heaven almost. They get a top center. The Chiefs get Deebo Samuel and trade value as well. So it's just a win-win situation for both in a sense. Kind of like a win-lose situation a little bit for the Niners because they just got a center out of it. But this could be a once in a generational center. Tyler Linderbaum's got a lot of big ratings behind him. It's just he's smaller. That's the one thing. Bengals. Offensive linemen are all off the board. Nothing really much at value at pick 31. Kyer Elam definitely has talent, and he could definitely be a top tier corner if, you know, producing well and is taught well. But definitely the value is there at 31 for Kyer Elam. Other than that, you know, they don't want to get O-line at that level. So all the other O-lines are definitely worth second rounds for sure. And then this is one of the craziest trades because I don't really like doing this many trades in a draft, but this is how crazy I think the draft's going to be. And I got Seattle Seahawks trading up into the first round with the Lions because the Lions, it's not a big stretch of a jump to trade up. So the Lions will still get value, and I think they already kind of have an idea what's going on, but they're not kind of sold on everything yet. So you got Matt Corral, quarterback out of Mississippi. I truly think the Seattle Seahawks really like Matt Corral. And again, they get the 5th-year option with him. So pretty fucking crazy trade scenario there. But a lot of trade scenarios happen like that. It's kind of like when the Ravens got Lamar Jackson. This is kind of a similar situation. But I think they truly see Matt Corral being a potential starter franchise quarterback for their team. So, and then we got the full results here. Let's skip through all this right here. Let's go to round 2. I'm probably going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little better. There you go. Okay, so we got pick number 33. I'm going to go through this pretty quick, but Nakobe Dean, they need a linebacker, and again, shores up that defense pretty well. Pick 34, this is what the Lions are waiting for. They already knew that they were going to get their quarterback. They're going to get Sam Howell, literally just two picks after. Perfect for them. Jets, they missed out on the cornerbacks with Stingley and Sauce Gardner, if you could see in the first part where Ahmad Garner goes first, and then you got Evan Neal. So they just went with the, instead of getting, you know, Derek Stingley, they thought the value was more with Evan Neal, obviously, which does make sense. And then Derek Stingley falls to the Vikings. That's where they miss out, and they get Jameson Williams. So then they go and shore it up. They get Jalen Petre. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I just say Jalen Petre. Giants get Leo Chenal. I've been hearing a lot of stories about them eyeing Leo Chenal for linebacker position. And again, this is why I did 2 rounds. I was going to do 3 rounds, but it's just so much to cover for 3 rounds. It's really hard to keep up, so I just went with 2 rounds, and there's still a lot more depth going into the 3rd and even 4th rounds. It's crazy. Texans get Boy Maffey. Again, he's fallen pretty low for the most part, but I can see a couple teams picking up Boy Maffey. Even the Chiefs would have picked up Boy Maffey, but I think the Texans, it's a good fit for him, and you know, kind of fits the mold there. And again, they need pretty much positions everywhere, so it's kind of easy just to go. But best available player in their eyes, I think Boy Maffey would be their best available player. Now I have the Ravens, my team. I actually did a trade up because they have a lot of draft value this year, or draft picks. So they use all that value to trade up a little bit, and they get, and this is the reason you got to hear me out. They get Nick Bonito. Now I think I have the Ravens trading up twice, and I'll have to explain it, but it kind of makes sense, especially because of the way these picks are made. So Nick Bonito, Oklahoma Sooner. If you know our GM, he's a big Sooners fan. He's always looking for an Oklahoma Sooners player to draft. And a lot of people are actually talking about Nick Bonito as being a top-tier guy. We need pass rushers. Nick Bonito is definitely one of those guys that could fill a role that is missing. But, again, they're working on it. The Bears get George Pickens. Now, I had a toss-up between this and Sky Moore, but Pickens seems like the more better prospect. I think he's just underrated for the most part, but I think the Bears kind of see that, and you know, as they let it sit and play out, they get their guy. I think they have them rated pretty high, so, and it just seems like a Bears pick. George Pickens to the Bears. Makes sense. The Lions, they go back-to-back on this, and I feel like they go back-to-back for a reason. So they get Georgia safety Louis Sign, and then they also go right back and get Quay Walker. Again, championship defense. And I feel like they're kind of building that type of, you know, teammate togetherness mentality behind it. They could have easily went and got Trayvon Walker, but again, you get Kayvon Thibodeau with the higher ceiling, so you got almost a for sure bet in a sense, and then you got 2 championship. Like, you're just building that defense up. It's a Dan Campbell style defense, makes sense. Colts, again, you just bring in Matt Ryan, but you have that crazy running back in the backfield. You want to build them around a offensive tackle that can literally run block very well. And I think actually what the ratings were with him is that he was one of the best he was the best run blocking tackle in the college football. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Packers, we have them. Oh, that was when they traded down with the Falcons, and they get Travis Jones, defensive lineman. You're shoring up that defensive or the middle interior of the defense. You got the Browns here. The Browns got Kingsley Enagbare, the defensive end out of South Carolina. Just sounds like a complete Browns pick, and again, highly rated. I see a lot of teams that are saying, "Oh, this is that's who they're going for." The reason why I have him going here though is because he falls a bit, but it's supposed to relieve pressure off of Myles Garrett. So, New York Jets, Jaquan Brisker. They need a safety again because their defensive backfield's kind of rough, but they're building up on that. You get what's it called? I already forgot their cornerback pick. Oh yeah, Jalen Peter is right there. Jalen Peter. And then you go in and get Jaquan Brisker. You're just kind of just shoring up that defense a little bit, just making sure it's pretty stout, especially in the backfield. Arnold Ebiketie goes to the Vikings, defensive end out of Penn State. That's a solid pick. And again, you know, when they go in and get their cornerback, they're going to just shore up that pass rush a little bit with Arnold Ebiketie. He could be a very solid starter. Washington Commanders. I wish they had the old name. It sounds better. Washington Commanders, not football team, the other one. Sky Moore, wide receiver. That's where I have him fall into. He falls pretty far. I mean, he's supposed to be higher rated than George Pickens and a couple others, but Sky Moore, I feel like it just fits more into that role. So you have Sky Moore and Terry McLaurin, and it's just a speedy combo there. I think that works. The Bears get Daxton Hill. Daxton Hill falls pretty far, but that's some good value there. Again, there's a lot of good value in this draft, but Daxton Hill fits more of that solid, like maybe cornerback number 2 position. Be really good. Falcons, Kyler Gordon. He just seems like one of the better prospects, and I think like the Falcons are just going to go for best available cornerback at that moment. I don't think Daxton Hill would have been a choice. I still think they would have chose Kyler Gordon over Daxton Hill. Now the Chiefs, I have Jalen Tolbert. Now you're gonna have to hear me out a little bit on this because I know in my trade scenario I have them getting Deebo Samuel. So I'm trying to build depth for the Chiefs, and I think that's what they would want to do, especially only having Mecole Hardman really starting. So now you got Mecole Hardman, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Tolbert. Kind of makes sense. See how it plays out from there though. Eagles, Roger McCreary. I could just see him going to the Eagles. Sounds like an Eagles defensive back pick. And again, he's still pretty good. He could be valued as a starter. So I could definitely see them shoring up that cornerback position there. The Steelers, it was kind of hard to choose a pick here for the Steelers because I know they need offensive line, especially if they're going to build up around their new franchise quarterback Kenny Pickett. So Abraham Lucas was the best available tackle, and he's highly rated between a lot of teams too. So just think he's just a safe pick there. Green Bay Packers, David Ojabo. I mean, he's fallen too far, and again, they need to replace Zadarius Smith. David Ojabo. I mean, he should be doing pretty good for Michigan. Pretty safe pick for the Packers. I could kind of see it being a Packers pick, but at the same time, I could see other options too, but I think I'll go with David Ojabo. Now, the Patriots pick, Drake Jackson, just sounds like a complete Patriots pick, 100%. I know he's fallen off value quite a bit, but I had him rated a long time ago, a lot higher. So I feel like it's just a steal and a half for the Patriots, and we'll see how he plays. The Cardinals get Cam Jurgens. Again, they miss out on Tyler Linderbaum, or not really missed out, but they kind of skipped on Tyler Linderbaum, but they maybe have Cam Jurgens rated pretty high too. He's supposed to be actually one of the highest rated centers besides Tyler Linderbaum in the draft. So I think it's still a safe pick for the Cardinals to get. Definitely much value there. Cowboys get Josh Pascal. They're just kind of building up that defense a little bit. More of a safe defensive end pick out of Kentucky. And Bills fans, there you go. There's your running back. Now, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, but we got good running backs, but Breece Hall is like a multi-tool running back. I think, you find them in the second round and nobody's even looked at running backs, you get them. Packers, they get their another wide receiver, and this is the reason why I did this too, Christian Watson. So everyone's actually predicting Christian Watson being a Packers pick quite a bit. But here's the thing. So you move up, you get Chris Olave, right? You get your like number one. Christian Watson's going to be a very valuable like end zone touchdown target, especially because he won't be looked at as much as Olave will be. So definitely very good value there. So Green Bay Packers, they had traded down, they got trade value out of one of the picks. I think this is where they were actually picking last time too. So this is where the original pick was, and the Ravens traded with them. So they traded out of the second, and they get Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen is a stretch. Now, again, it's my Ravens team, but here's the thing. So Tariq Woolen is like 6'4", right? And if you know my Ravens, they like their tall corners. They like to have coverage for sure. But you got Marcus Peters, you got Marlon Humphrey. It's more about depth at this point, and you still do need a slot corner. However, I truly think Tariq Woolen is going to be a very valuable depth piece of the cornerback position, especially having the long arms and the height and the lengthiness. And again, a lot of people have really much pointed him out to be like a third round pick by the Ravens, but I feel like they just gamble it up just to make sure they get their corner, and then after that they find value in the fourth and fifth rounds. I think that's just a smarter Ravens style play, especially because Ravens do have a lot of value or a lot of draft picks at the fourth round. So I think, yes, they trade some of that up to get the cornerback that they want. I know the value is a little like shot up there a little bit, but I just feel like it feels like a Ravens pick to me. If you know Ravens defense like I do, this looks much like a Ravens pick. Buccaneers get Logan Hall. Logan Hall falls pretty far, but falls perfectly into their laps. It's just a good value depth pick for behind Vita Vea and help him out inside the defensive interior. Chiefs, Troy Anderson, Montana State, linebacker. I feel like, they need a linebacker, and just sounds like a Chiefs pick to me. I'm sure that he will mold into that play style pretty well. Then you got pick number 62, which is Chiefs again, and they get John Mechie. Now, John Mechie, I feel like, is a dark horse wide receiver that is very undervalued, and I truly feel like he'll probably be their slot guy. So I feel like they'll use John Mechie in some like packages as well for being like a slot option for Patrick Mahomes. It just makes too much sense for me to not see that. But I know that's like a lot of wide receivers now. You got Mecole Hardman, you got Deebo Samuel, you got Jalen Tolbert, and then now you got John Mechie. You literally got your depth there, 100%. But once you lose a Tyreek Hill and you're starting Mecole Hardman, you kind of need to build up some protection just in case something happens. And I feel like John Mechie will be a very, very good, solid slot wide receiver, and a speedy one too. Pick 63, Perion Winfrey, Oklahoma. Again, defensive interior. Perion Winfrey is really highly rated, and I feel like the Bengals just do not let him pass. And finally, the Denver Broncos. It just makes way too much sense. They need a cornerback, it says, but in reality, they're pretty, smart about how they handle situations, especially in depth. They do need a tight end, and I know they got Cedric Ogwe. I don't know how to say his name. It's like Ogwebuki or something like that. But Trey McBride, Colorado State, it makes sense. And again, you have a 2 tight end system with Russell Wilson to protect him and give him more options. He's like the number 1 tight end in the draft, so it's almost a steal and a half to get him at the bottom of the second. So anyways, there you go. There you have it. All 2 rounds. Let's see how accurate I am. I'm pretty sure I'm going to tell you right now, this draft's going to be so hard to predict. It's going to be all over the place. I can almost guarantee I'm either going to be pretty decent, pretty spot on for a lot of these picks, especially with the trades and everything, or I'm going to be completely fucking wrong. And I think that goes for everybody doing mock drafts, because this is one of the hardest things to do. And they do say that when you're in this field of mock drafts and stuff, it is like the hardest thing to predict, because you just never know what a team's mindset is and what they're going into. I could just point out before I do go, though, my favorite like choices here for everybody, so I could just kind of go based off of what I think would fit best. I think Aiden Hutchinson going to Jacksonville would be really well, because he could take, whether they can train him or not to be a better defensive end, he's still going to be a productive defensive end on that team, because that's one of the harder teams that like they don't really do well with producing their players. It's just how it is right now with them. Ahmad Garner, one of the best fits. I would personally rather have him on the Ravens. If it was like a dream pick, I'd pick him on the Ravens, just because a player like that would be fucking amazing. And then you got the Giants, Kenny Pickett. I actually really like that fit there. I could see Malik Willis going there because that's the smoke and mirror rumors that they're having, that they want Malik Willis, but I just don't think. I think they want to win now, and I feel like the bridge between Trubisky and Pickett is smaller, and if Kenny Pickett can beat out Trubisky's gonna be a solid second string. So I think that's why they did that. They're in a win now mode, especially after they went to the playoffs. Not a big fan of the Steelers. I hate the Steelers, but still, I mean, can't be wrong about reality. Other than that, Garrett Wilson pick I do like a lot. With the Saints, it's a very solid one. I think the Thomas and Wilson, combination is gonna be deadly. Other than that, Jordan Davis pick, I can't say I'm too much of a big fan of it, but if he does pay out to be this crazy defensive interior guy, then it would be definitely an awesome pick. But not saying that I'm like thrilled about it. Desmond Ridder, Falcons, that excited me. Honestly, I was like, yes. I was like, that's a fucking awesome pick, bar none. I truly like that idea. And then we have, like I said, Chris Olave obviously is it feels like a Packers pick to me. But first round, that's pretty much it. Tyler Linderbaum going to the Niners, I feel like is a really smart choice, especially at that level. And then Matt Corral, I could just see Matt Corral being a successor to that franchise. I don't know. It's not a favorite pick, but it's just an idea to me. Nick Bonito to the Ravens, I can almost guarantee if he's there and the Ravens have him at this value, they're gonna get him. They're gonna get 100%, especially with a trade. And then you got let's see. Kyler Gordon going to the Falcons is good value. Roger McCreary going to the Eagles, I feel like fits really well. The Drake Jackson pick to Patriots, it just sounds Patriots as Patriots could be. Breece Hall, again, just give less running to Josh Allen. He'll be more successful. I think that's a really good fit. The Tariq Woolen, I personally, like I said, if I know the Ravens, this is like one of the best fits there so far. I mean, 100%. I feel like if one of those starters gets injured, he could hold his own if he's taught well, if he's taught right. And again, with the way the Ravens defense is, I'm pretty sure he will be. And then Trey McBride to the Broncos, just to help out Russell Wilson. It's just a very solid pick. So anyways, that's it for me. And I'm calling it. So thank you for stopping by. Like I said, if you guys can, please follow, like, and subscribe. Truly means the world to me. Hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, if you have any opinions on my picks, I mean any opinions, you could be an asshole about it. Hopefully not. Hopefully you're a little more respectful about it. But if you have any opinions, good or bad, please leave them in the comment section. Again, anywhere you support all my social medias, truly appreciate it. All right, you guys have yourself a good one. Enjoy the draft, and I'll see you guys after that. Adios.